It's real!
All right. Welcome, everyone. We welcome you back to another Wednesday Night Live. We appreciate you being here.
What'd I miss?
We did announce that we signed a distribution deal.
Shazam!
We announced that we'll be doing a big show June 25th in Tuscaloosa at the Bama Theater. We hope to see you there. We also are trying to put together something for the Mayberry Meetup in Mount Airy, mid-July. And then at the end of July, we have a screening event at the Can Cinema in Indianapolis. Some good old-fashioned Mayberry Man and Mayberry fun.
Yeah, I'm in.
Stark, I know people are here to hear about the big announcement. So what do you got for them?
As Barney would say, big ain't the word for it. We've had some speculation. Some people have made some guesses. Someone even guessed Mayberry Man, the musical.
No, that's not it.
Someone suggested bobbleheads. It must be the bobblehead announcement, right?
Not the bobblehead, nope.
Oh, okay.
What did happen is when we were shooting the movie, before we were even done, I think people were starting to enjoy the characters. I actually didn't write the characters quite as funny as they came off. I think they brought something to the character, so I was pleasantly surprised. And so I was enjoying them just like the fans were. And then, people would come up to me and say, we got to do more of this. Are you going to do a sequel? And so, I started thinking about it, and I started to write a sequel.
Well, we had a great reaction to the film when we premiered it. I mean, people, I think, were really shocked how we accomplished so much with so little. Just a recap of kind of our success with the film. We were in 36 theaters in 14 different states. We released it ourselves onto Amazon. It was trending in the new releases. We've sold literally thousands of DVDs. It says a lot about what the audience is craving out there.
Amazing.
Let's do the big announcement. And we'll got just a little bit of an animation to show you, and that'll kind of say it all, I think.
All right, here we go.
So there it is. You now know that we are going to do this as a series. We just started thinking about it, and it just seemed like the logical next step. We can expand on some of the characters. We can have more time to develop stories, and so it just seemed like the way to go for the next step. And we could have done another movie, but I think this is more fun. And I know you probably got a million questions, so sit back and we'll start to explain it.
So how would it compare, Stark, to the movie experience? So people kind of know what a movie is. What are you going to do with it?
Well, it's not episodic in that it's not like the Andy Griffith Show where there's a new episode each time. We're not trying to recreate the series, but what we are going to do is continue the story of Chris and Kate. Our goal is to do 6 episodes. If we can raise the money for 6 episodes, we're going to stretch the story out through 6 episodes. So there'll be cliffhanger moments and things, but it'll follow a continuous storyline. So it's basically like making twice the movie, really. Over 3, and it probably end up being over 3.5 hours. So 3.5 hours of fun.
It's a big project, so that's going to change things a little bit in how we approach it, correct?
It is definitely bigger. It's a lot more to manage. So Court and I, we formed a new LLC called Mayberry Man 2 LLC, and we've got board members this time. Last time it was just Court and myself, and so we've added Dixie Griffith as a board member. I'll know Allan Newsome has come on board, and then we have a newcomer to the Mayberry family, Glenn Wagner. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. He has extensive experience in the entertainment industry, especially in the areas of distribution and marketing. So we think he'll be a great addition to the team, which is now a team. It's not just Court and me, the Howell brothers.
So we'll talk about the production team a little bit. So the Stark's title is executive producer, and the reason that's the title is because that's what the showrunner's title is on a television series. The showrunner is the creative visionary, and so that's Stark's role in this. I'll be a producer doing a similar role as last time, and then also I will be the head writer. And then Ashley Elaine, who is Kate in the movie, has been working on this almost since the red carpet premiere of the movie. She's been helping with development, and she's kind of coming on more in the behind the scenes role as a producer.
And a new person to the team is Cami Faye as an associate producer, and she brings a lot of great experience working for
Disney and in animation, live events, and film, and so she brings a lot of great experience. She's actually, we know her from Southern California, but she relocated and she's outside of Nashville also. Stark just mentioned Glenn Wagner, who will have a producer role, more on the business side of things because of his, we met him during the distribution process. And so he's really dialed in to that world. And I think that'll be a really great advantage to getting a series out and distributed. And then of course, Greg Schell will be back in the co-producer role and working behind the scenes. And we'll probably talk about him in a moment when we talk about the cast. What do you think, Stark?
Yeah, we've had a lot of questions like, who's going to be in it? Are you going to have the same people? And yes, obviously Chris Stone is the Mayberry Man. Ashley, of course, is Kate. Allan will be back. Rik will be back. Jake Winter will be back. We've also got, because of the series, we can delve a little bit deeper into some of the other characters. I was very happy that the Greg and Craig show, which would be Greg Schell and Chris Hudson, everyone really loved those characters and wanted to see more of them. So we're gonna create some more for them to do. And then Reggie and Rayfield, I have kind of teamed up, and they've got a little more to do in this one. So I've already warned them both. They better work on their acting chops because it's going to be more than just howdy.
Here, these guys are just Mayberry fans, right? And this became such a big part of their lives, and they've been helping us behind the scenes and coming to events and all sorts of stuff. And now they potentially have regular roles on a television series. I think it's kind of mind-blowing, probably more so to them. But I just think that's a fun part of this, is that when you get involved in a project like this, who knows where it can go. So we'll talk. Another question I'm sure people have is, where will we be filming it? And so we're going to follow kind of a similar model. At this point, nothing's in stone, but we would like to come back and shoot in Danville, Indiana. We think that made a great Mayberry. So many of our fans who participate go to Mayberry Days in Mount Airy, and obviously we have some partners there as well. And so we definitely have plans to be in Mount Airy again. There's a lot of scenes written for Los Angeles, so there'll be some Los Angeles shooting. And then we also have a lot of interest from some people in the Texas area, and I'll get into that in a moment. So we may end up doing some production in Texas. So, and I'm alluding to the Texas connection because that kind of comes to the funding aspect. And so this time it's not all on the fans. We have had private investor interest in this, and some of those investors are out of the Texas area, and they want to get involved because they want to be involved. They saw what everyone got to do with the film, and they thought, wow, I would love to be a part of that, and maybe I can help make it happen. So we've got private investors coming on board. But we don't want to say goodbye to our fans, right? We want to keep you involved. And so there will be a crowdfunding aspect of it. Last time we used Kickstarter as a platform. We'll probably use Indiegogo this time. If you're not familiar with it, it's just another crowdfunding site that's a really useful tool to get the word out and make it easy for people to claim perks. They call them perks on Indiegogo. So why don't we talk about the perks, Stark? And we're going to try to make it easy for everyone to participate, right?
Yeah, we'll have the similar rewards, pre-release online screenings, and this time we have a DVD box set of the complete season 1 of Mayberry Man, which even sounds funny to say. We have digital downloads, limited edition T-shirts, names in the credits, and all that stuff. And that, it's kind of a $20 to $300 range. We haven't decided exactly where it all lands yet. You can then go up to the $300 level, and that's where you can be an extra in the movie. I know that the folks that were extras in the last movie really enjoyed the experience, so they can do that again. You can do a reoccurring role. There's a red carpet, cast and crew apparel. Everybody likes crew swag. So, those are just some of the ideas that we've been floating around. Then there at the higher levels, obviously you have Mr. Schwump, which is the featured extra. Make sure that you're on camera. I think we were pretty successful at giving those Schwump extras a good experience and a lot of camera time. I was happy with it. I hope everybody else was. And then there's speaking roles, reoccurring characters, producer levels, etc. And we got some other fun VIP experiences at those higher levels.
And then we're going to come up with some special perks. We've just been kicking ideas around, and we think there's just so many more opportunities to make this fun for everyone. So we talked about a table read with the cast, be a part of that. Or shadow the director, what does that mean?
That means you'll learn everything you need to know about directing a TV show. I'll be learning at the same time, so we'll both be learning together. But that might be fun. I mean, as you're sitting there, you can kind of just follow me around and for the day and see how we do it all and what is all involved. Not just as the director, but it just kind of puts you in the center of the action.
And speaking of center of the action, the clap the slate for a scene. Who wouldn't want to go up and do the slate, the clapper board, or whatever people want to call it. If you look at any of our behind the scenes footage, there was Christian Griffith, who was one of our interns. He was always doing it. Well, you can be that role. He's like in all of our behind the scenes footage because he was always doing the slate.
That'd be a good photo op too. So get your picture taken clapping the slate, kind of a framed thing. It might be a nice little keepsake. It's fun to think of this stuff because I'm like a movie set geek. I would hang around any movie set, and they're shooting all the time where I live, but I'd still love to be there. So I think those are fun little perks for people.
Well, and I think because we're going to be, better funded, better equipped, better staffed, it'll be easier to offer those opportunities for people and make it a more special experience on set. Everyone was working so hard last time. There wasn't as much time for fun, and that stuff's fun. So along the lines of what we did in the past, we're also going to do product placement opportunities again. I think that's a great way for small businesses to get to participate. I mean, I think when we did this last time, I was doing research and product placement on a television series, a major television series. You're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, we want to make this accessible for small businesses. At the higher end of the range, when we work with a business, we could possibly film at your business, even work it into the storyline. So that's always a fun bit, kind of like the loaded goat. We had a whole scene that took place there. So let's talk about our crowdfunding goal, because I'm sure you're kind of curious about that. We have to be prepared for a range. The investor funding is a good foundation, but ultimately it's the crowdfunding that'll determine how many episodes. Every page of script costs money. The more material we're filming, the more expensive it gets, to edit and all that. So this is kind of what we're thinking. All this is subject to change. And then, it also depends on the investors, how much they bring to the party. So, it can fluctuate either way on the investor side or the crowdfunding side. But this is just kind of a framework. Budget, people always ask, where does all that money go? It kind of breaks down. It goes everywhere, it goes fast. So we always like to, use our fun little AMP-B graphic to let people know it goes all over the place. And then schedule-wise, we are looking at the private investor thing is ongoing, but we're looking at launching this crowdfunding campaign at the Tuscaloosa event. So that weekend of June 25th. We figure we'll have a packed house, hopefully 1,000 people. It'll really be a great energy and excitement to launch this and give us some momentum. Midway in the campaign is the Mayberry meetups. We hope to maybe put together some activities there to keep the momentum going. And then the big finish would be the weekend of July 30th, 31st. The 30th is that Indianapolis screening event at the Can Theater in downtown Indianapolis. And then I would love to do something maybe in Danville on the 31st to bring it home, maybe at the Mayberry Cafe, at the Royal Theater, who knows. So, and then our plan is to film in September, in the fall, but we would like to be on track to shoot during the Mayberry Days week, much like we did with the movie. And then, of course, release it the following year. that covers most everything. So the real question is, what's next? What can you do? We want you to tell your friends. We want you to share about what we're doing on social media. You guys are the amplifier for what we're trying to do, especially in Mayberry circles. One of the things I would love to hear are stories from people who participated in the previous movie. I want to hear about your experiences and then share that on social media. Send the video to us with just a little selfie video. We would love to hear from you.
I see 7 extras in that one slide alone.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you can join us in person at the Bama Theater, that would be great. But we'll be doing stuff online like this. So participate on the 25th and celebrate our launch. And then most importantly, if you're going to be able to participate, we would love you to claim your perk on day one and participate on day one so we can really get off to a good start. And in the crowdfunding world, they say you want to get to like 20 to 30% of your goal within the first 48 hours. So that's where our fans come in. If you're going to plan to participate, we'd love you to come in on day one and really kick it off good and get that algorithm working so that they'll show our campaign to more people who might not otherwise see it. What do you think, Stark? Do you think people, have you been hearing any kind of early feedback?
Yeah, I think that, everybody that I've talked to personally on the phone can't wait to kind of get back together. It's kind of like going back to summer camp. And I'm really looking forward to that too, because being out here on the West Coast, once we were done with it all, I was kind of removed from running into people. The last time I actually saw anyone, I think, was the red carpet in Mount Airy. So I really miss the interaction. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to tell the story because I think that's what people gravitate to. It was the story, it was the characters, and I have written enough on the sequel to know that I think you'll all enjoy it and where it's going. And then, like I think I said earlier, I've probably written about 95 pages, and it's going to take twice that at least. So Court's got his work cut out for him. So we will look into subplots and lots of fun stuff.
I just noticed backstage we have a surprise guest. You want to meet the surprise guest?
Bring him on. Who is it?
All right.
Hey, look, a stranger in town.
There he is.
Chris Stone, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you?
I'm great. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties getting in. Otherwise, I would have been here a little sooner.
Oh no, you're
That's
good.
all right.
You're good. You're right on time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Chris Stone to be a little fashionably late. So
Of course.
This is true.
I'll always take that, I guess.
So what do you think of this
Yeah.
new project?
Guys, I'm so excited. I mean, even when we were on set, as Stark was saying earlier, like the buzz was already starting to build amongst the cast and the crew of just how fantastic it would be to continue these characters and see where they go. And for me personally, I had such a blast bringing Chris Stone to life and have always been curious, where is his story going to go? When he goes off to LA, does that Mayberry charm just stick with him? Who does he become? What happens with him and Kate? There's a little bit of a cliffhanger there at the end of the first film. The character I'm more interested to see than anything, honestly, is what happens to Shane. Like this guy, he stays in Mayberry. Like, what's going on with this dude? And
I
so
want to
I don't
know if you go back to the Mayberry trading post to look for the old man.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole nother storyline we could explore there. So, and I think the whole concept of this being episodic is really, really exciting. Just even more so from an actor standpoint of being able to dig into a character and try different things and have multiple episodes to see where the character's arc is going to go. And I just heard so much positive responses from people that I don't even know, who've been blown away by the first film and want to see this thing continue. How
do you think this will compare experience-wise for the fans? Have you given any thought to that?
I think the fans, the cool thing about what you guys are doing is, as far as the fans being involved with the first film, which they were heavily involved, there's still going to be that type of atmosphere. It's not like we're going to go off and forget everybody. I think the DNA of this whole thing is made for the fans in many ways by the fans, and so I think for them, just even from a tangible standpoint of being able to be a part of a project like this again is exciting. But then I think for them, being able to see these storylines continue, and again, we're not trying to replace or remake anything Andy Griffith. Couldn't do it even if we tried. But just the idea that we can continue on this Mayberry spirit and the Mayberry charm in all these new and exciting ways. Because when you think about episodic content, I mean, you can do a lot more with the story. You're not limited to this 2-hour, time frame of telling a story. A lot of fun things to explore when it comes to the world of Mayberry, and the sky's kind of the limit.
All right. Well, you know who just popped in backstage? We have another walk-on guest. Let's add Allan Newsome to the stream. Hey, Allan.
Hey!
Oh,
Hey,
all right.
it's Walter Stone's son. Oh,
No.
from season 3.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Well, we just
Well,
keep reeling Allan into this project.
That's right. Can't get rid of him.
What are your thoughts, Allan? I mean, now you're coming on and helping us make tough decisions.
Oh yeah. That's what a barber does, so that's easy. Got to decide whether to cut the hair. It's got to lay right. No, I'm really excited about it. It'll be great to get back together with Brett and Rik and Ashley and everybody to just see what happens. Yeah, because I loved the part of the movie, obviously, with Brett and Barney and Floyd to go in on the adventure together. He was more of a kind of Andy character almost in that.
Yeah.
He was.
we have another adventure. I've got another adventure for you guys.
You two are gonna love it.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
So we're very excited about that. Rik and I have been talking about it ever since the movie came out. So, oh man, we could do this or that. It's so I'm very excited, especially since it'll be a series. I think we will maybe have time if we get enough money raised and everything. We'll have time to even tell more stories, so we can delve in to find out more about Ashley, Kate and Chris. But you can also, hopefully, we can have some more of Barney or Allan and Warren, whoever is running around together. Warren, that's funny, isn't it?
Well, speaking of Warren just came in the studio. Let's hear from Warren.
Where's
Hey, a stranger in town.
No, you know me.
Hey, Clay.
We've met. It's
Cliff?
Chris.
Oh man.
You're amazing.
Amazing. How's it going, everybody?
Welcome, Rik.
Rik, give us your thoughts on this whole thing. We haven't really had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm fired up. Part of the excitement for me is figuring out my own Warren's backstory a little bit. We just saw him break character kind of for a second when he didn't want to take on the responsibilities of actually stopping a criminal activity, and he kind of recoiled into himself a little bit. But I want to know who that guy is and explore that. And same thing with Allan's character when he's not full blown Floyd. I think these two guys can hang out off camera.
I can't wait. I can't wait to share with you guys who you are. You don't know who you are yet, but I do. I know who you are, and I think you'll really.
I'm hoping his identity is better than mine in real life, because I'm excited to see the people that I worked with on camera, and it was like summer camp. All the folks that volunteered, all the fans that came in and were in the movie or behind the scenes, or just kind of hanging out, running for coffee if we needed. Just like there's a million different people there. But I've stayed in touch with him, as has Allan, and I'm sure you guys have. I mean, we see him at the different movie premieres and the different festivals and fairs and whatnot. So it's always good seeing them again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it, but definitely looking forward to hanging out with the core group and seeing where our characters go and how things shake out.
Brett, stay on with me for a second.
Okay.
Rik and Allan, I'm going to let you guys go, and thanks for joining us.
See
We
you
appreciate
soon.
it.
It's great.
It was great to see your beautiful faces.
And Allan, we'll see you in the boardroom.
I'll be there.
We're going to take a couple questions. One of the questions I noticed was, are any of the original actors from the Andy Griffith Show going to be in the series? So Stark, why don't you address that?
Yes, they are. As a matter of fact, we were going to have all of the original actors that were a part of the Mayberry family involved in the first one, but then COVID happened and traveling was a real issue. So Karen Knotts was a trooper. She made it. She said, I'll do it. I loved her energy and her spirit. But the rest of them did not, and we really wanted them in. So I have an idea of kind of how I want to include them in, but we want to. I don't even think that some of them don't know, but George Lindsay Jr. and Romina, Ronnie, Schell. Who am I missing? Karen. We have other ideas for Karen.
And we got another surprise guest. Let's add her to the stream. There she is from the set, right? You're on location.
Right, I'm sweaty.
A cowboy movie.
I was not expecting that wardrobe.
Did you shoot your part? Did you do your thing yet?
I just wrapped. I'm in Pipe Creek, Texas, and I'm on the romantic film Heart Cycles. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So a working actor.
Working
Nice.
actor. Yeah. I'm glad I have this around me because it's hot in Texas today, I'll tell you.
You need Geetsy to come and powder you real quick.
So Ashley, you've been really involved behind the scenes. Maybe you can kind of bring people up to speed of what your involvement is, because now you're not just Kate, you're a producer. So maybe you can tell people a little bit about what you've been working on and what that's been like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I love being behind the camera as much as I love being in front of it. I'm going to be a producer on this series, and I am thrilled to work with the team that we put together. I've been a part every step of the way in the developmental process, and going to be a part of pre-production, and then phasing into reprising my role as Kate. So yeah, it's really exciting. I feel very blessed.
Well, we are glad to have your help because it is a lot of work. So we've been keeping Ashley busy behind the scenes.
Yeah, she's getting a little taste of what we had to do for the first one. I keep asking her if she's still enjoying the process because it's never ending.
No,
and Brett knows that. It's never ending.
Brett and I are kind of matching. Look at that.
Well, yeah. I just knew, it's that Chris Stone instinct, trying to pour on the pink charm.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So a couple of questions while I've got you guys on here. Let me just kind of jump in and answer a couple of these. Someone asked about Doug, the driver. He's a funny character.
I love Doug.
We hope to have him back, right?
Yeah, of course. He's a Mayberry citizen. He was a citizen of Mayberry, so
he should have his front seat fixed by now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He might have a new car. Who knows?
You two are gonna love it.
No, we got to get that same car, and we got to stick me and Jacob again. That was amazing.
We still have that car.
Yeah, and somebody asked, are all the main actors still on board? For the most part, yes. We just don't know because ultimately with actors, they sometimes land bigger roles, so, but that's our plan.
Some actors had roles that maybe can't be done, but it's a series. So if we want to bring them back in, they can play another part. Andy Griffith Show had, multiple parts with the same character. Mm-hmm. Sam, I always think of him as Sam the Butcher, but Sam
Allan
the Butcher
Melvin,
guy.
Yeah.
He was in so many different parts. And so I don't have a problem doing that either. So I just want to include everybody I can. And now I think we've got more room to include even more people, which is more fun and more work, but more fun.
And another question was, what will we be doing in Indianapolis? And that really, we talked about it a little earlier, I think, about wanting to come back to Danville. Indiana has just passed a tax credit law. Brett, have you looked into this law? You're doing your own thing, right?
Yeah, they're still very much in the beginning stages of it, but it's exciting opportunity for film and television programs to be able to apply for the rebate and to be able to give a little bit of a break on the budget and welcome more film projects to be shot here in Indiana. So it's a really exciting time right now to be a filmmaker here in the Hoosier State.
It's so fun.
So the way I understand it is any money spent in Indiana for Indiana businesses, anybody that you can't bring your crew from Los Angeles,
Correct.
and you won't get the rebate. But any dollar you spend in Indiana, you get what? Maybe a third or
I feel like
something
it's like
back.
30%. Yeah.
That's a big
That's
deal.
pretty great.
It's
So
huge.
we're going to try to shoot as much as we can in Indiana. We did it before with Chris Stone's mansion, made it look like California.
Mhm.
We can do it
Yeah.
with, other things. So, yeah, we will do as much as we can in Indiana.
All right. Well, we have another surprise guest behind the scenes. So I'm going to let Ashley and Brett go. I know Ashley probably would like to pack up and head home from her long day on the set. And
The day on the set.
No, I was thrilled that I could do both today. I mean, what a awesome day. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, thanks, guys. I'm going
Thanks,
to
guys. Super pumped.
thank
usher
you.
you to
Me
the,
too.
stage
We'll talk to you guys
left.
soon.
All
Okay.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
There we go. Had to use one of those. So I think we're kind of trying to staying up on the questions pretty well. Someone asked about filming during Mayberry days, and I think the way we did it last time for the movie, we kind of did our filming days earlier in the week so that we wouldn't interfere with the festival. So I could envision a similar scenario where we'd be doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, Mount Airy, maybe Thursday. We kind of get outside of Mount Airy if we have additional stuff to do. But yeah, we want to try to make it possible for fans to participate. And I know so many of you go to Mayberry Days every year, but you can't necessarily afford a whole week in Mount Airy. We get that. So we'll do our best to make that possible because you guys are what make this so special. So, well, we have another surprise guest from behind the scenes. So let's bring on Greg Schell.
Oh, sorry, I was reading Walt Whitman poetry.
There he is.
We actually came to Greg a little late because we got all out of order with the guests because Ashley came in out of order. So sorry to keep you waiting, but I'm glad you had good reading material.
Oh no, that's fine. I was just catching up on my American literature.
Looked like you were about finished with the book.
Yeah, well, it's a big book. How's everybody doing? It's great to be back, and it's great to be back on the production team for the exciting new series, Mayberry Man.
Yeah, I mean, you were here from the beginning. You were like the beginning. Like you had.
Well, yeah. I mean, originally, we don't have to go into the whole story, but I met Stark and I told him you got to come out to Mayberry Days. It's like a Twilight Zone for Andy Griffith fans. And he came out, and I think that was the genesis for this whole idea, feeling like a little bit of a fish out of water, signing autographs for your guy's father, Hokow. And that's basically how it all started. And I'll be working pretty much soup to nuts on this entire project, everything from the acting side to the talent side, to the location side, to the permit side, anywhere where I can fill in terms of my co-producer responsibilities, I'll be there.
But I am looking forward to your acting participation because the stuff that I've been writing for you is, I think, hilarious.
Good.
Well, last time it was kind of a last minute rewrite that even put you in front of the camera. So this time, now that these characters are developed, and we hope to have Chris Hudson, the other filmmaker in the movie, also in this series, right? So I think it's going to be fun to see what happens with those two guys, because a lot of people, we got a lot of positive feedback from fans and viewers about those liking those characters and their storyline.
Well, comedic talent is something that I think is innate, and you're born with it. So, the fans respond. They know. They just intrinsically know what's funny.
You can't help it because it's just genetic, right?
That's right. But no, I'm really excited. I can't wait to be a part of the entire, formation of this series. And also, a lot of what I'll be doing behind the scenes is getting some of those people that weren't allowed to come or couldn't come because of COVID on the first round during Mayberry Man, like George Lindsay Jr. and others. I'll be trying to rustle up some of those celebrity types and some of the Andy Griffith legacy as it were, to be involved. So it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully everyone is going to get their chance to be on the big screen or the little screen, depending on where this streams. But yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, they just keep showing up into the backstage area. So let's bring on another surprise guest, daughter of Don Knotts, who is a performer in her own right, Karen Knotts. Hey, Karen.
Hi.
Thank you for
Hi,
joining
Karen.
us. That's so sweet of you to dial in.
Oh, are you kidding me? I am so excited about this. What you guys are doing is groundbreaking. You know that, right? I mean, nobody has ever done anything like this
We're
before.
just trying to have some fun.
You've made your fans almost like co-creators of this whole project. It's pretty astonishing. And I'll tell you, making Mayberry Man, I've never seen so many people having so much fun on a movie set in my life. Usually they're sitting there bored, like, oh, no. Everyone was excited. Everyone was having fun. Everybody was totally involved in it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, nobody's jaded, No,
they're not jaded at all.
And they didn't quite get enough. I mean, I think that's what's great about this. Maybe by the end of the series, they might be jaded and think. But
if they're
right
there
now,
for every single shoot, maybe.
they had a taste of it, and I just wanted to do more. And I think it's going to be awesome.
It is. I can feel it.
Well, and there's interesting possibilities. Karen, we were actually talking about this earlier today. It's like, does Karen come back as Karen Knotts, or does she come back as one of her many characters that she's already, introduced to folks at her shows? So if you haven't seen one of Karen's shows, you got to get out there. And then also, Karen, tell me about this new show you're doing with Rik Roberts.
Oh boy, this is really tremendous. It's called Knotts So Fast. It's Rik's idea. We're just excited as can be. It's going to be a comedy, variety, music, improv. It's going to be huge.
Wow, that's awesome.
So.
Yes, and I also will be at Mayberry Days again, as I always am. And I will be doing a new show at Mayberry Days, kind of based more on the book that I wrote, Tied Up in Knots. It's going to be like book talk, but a funny book talk. It'll be humorous.
All right. Well, I will let you go. Karen, I thank you so much for your time and joining us tonight. We're excited to have you involved. And
I'm excited too. Thank you.
It's going to be another great adventure. All right. Thanks, Karen. All right. Well, we have one more special guest I want to go to. And again, it's kind of tough for us to pick up all your questions while we're doing a live event, but we'll go back through it. If we see things that we didn't respond to, we'll try to respond to that next week. We'll be doing these weekly lives every Wednesday night. It may not be everybody you saw tonight, but we want to keep this going, keep people excited, keep informing you on our progress. But let's go to our big special guest of the night, the one and only Ronnie Schell. Hey, Ronnie.
Hi, Cord. Hi, Stark.
Hey, we can hear you.
Good to see you guys. I'm really
too, man.
thrilled to be here tonight. I have to tell you that when my son, am I still on?
You're on.
You're on.
There I am. God dang, I look pretty good. When my son Greg told me that you guys were going to maybe do a series, I thought it was completely natural, and I'll tell you why. I have done my comedy show at the Mount Airy Mayberry Days for the last 6 years. And in fact, this coming year, September, will be my seventh where I do my show, my comedy show, and it changes every year. And there's different adventures with the fans every year, different stories. So it's not like you're just relying on one story. You've got a number of we should do 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, it's all about the money. If we can raise money, we'll do. I would do this forever. Pass it on to Court. He's 8 years younger than I am, so I'll retire out. We'll take over.
I think it's going to be great. I really am looking forward to being part later on of the series, but also enjoying the different episodes because it's
Mhm.
open for a lot of very funny humor. We get that at these Mayberry days, the parades, the games they play, and the people, different adventures. You can all put that into the series.
Absolutely. Well, I want to change subjects briefly because we haven't really talked about this, but we were all very saddened by the passing of Maggie Peterson this week, who played Charlene on the show, and I know you guys were close. You and Maggie, you did a lot of these events together. Do you want to share any thoughts or?
Yes, Maggie and I go back to in early 60s when we both lived in Toluca Lake, California, and I was doing Gomer every morning. And so and she would do an occasional guest shot with the Dillards and all that. And we would have breakfast every single morning at Patty's Coffee House in Toluca Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went on, she was like a sister to me. And we went on to do all these different shows together. And I really feel sad of her passing, but I know that after her beloved husband Gus passed away, she sort of slowed down, and in the last 6 months, she wasn't really her same person. And so when she passed, I wasn't surprised, but it was all from natural causes, and I think it was because she missed Gus and everything. But she was a doll. She was a great lady and very funny lady.
Yeah, she was terrific and was always so involved with the events and interacting with the fans. And so I know a lot of the fans were friends with her.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you want to say to the fans, Ronnie, about this series opportunity? I don't know. I mean, you saw what we did with the movie. What do you think they should know about this?
Well, I only think that it's original, and it's funny, and it's contemporary, and it's really based on a wonderful television series that we all watched. And there's so much material there. I look forward to seeing the show and each week.
Shazam!
Thank you so much for coming on. It's a
My pleasure.
real treat.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Ronnie.
All right. See you, Ronnie. Any final thoughts, Stark, before I kind of recap some of the events we have coming up?
No, we'll just update you as as things develop, which they do daily, and we'll keep you kind of up to speed with where we're at with the progress of all that needs to get done to get this shooting by September.
All right. So just a reminder, we're going to kick off this whole crowdfunding thing at this Tuscaloosa event down in Alabama on June 25th. And you're going to hear plenty from us between now and then. So I just wanted to remind you of that date. If you're ever thinking of going to the Mayberry meetup, it's the 10th anniversary. This is Allan Newsome. Allan's still with us. I'm going to bring him back to talk about the meetup real quick. Hey, he's back.
I'm back.
So just in 30 seconds, give me the elevator pitch for the Mayberry meetup.
So Mayberry Days is the big event every year, obviously, but it's so big you can't really just slow down, relax, and do everything in Mount Airy. So the Mayberry meetup is an opportunity to come and spend a weekend in Mayberry, relax, and do what you want to during the day, and get with us in the evenings and watch episodes of the Andy Griffith Show Under the Stars. And so we'll be hopefully showing the Mayberry Man movie during the meetup this year. We haven't announced that anywhere except here so far. So we're excited to be able to do that. And it looks like it's going to work out. It's not official yet, but it's very close to official. So we're going to show it one way or the other. So
yeah, and I know Jan works hard behind the scenes on the meetup as well, and she's been instrumental in kind of greasing the wheels a little bit behind the scenes and trying to pull some stuff together, in support of Mayberry Man. So we appreciate that, and of course Weaver's Department Store for all your favorite Mayberry merchandise,
Mayberry Man items.
Go get your Mayberry Man playing cards. All right, Allan.
Yeah. Thanks.
Just wanted to have you pop back on. All right, thanks so much. So, and then July 30th at the Can Cinema in Indianapolis. The tickets are actually on sale now, and it's not a huge theater. It's about 140, 145 people, but this is going to be the big finish to our crowdfunding campaign. So you can actually go and buy tickets now if you were thinking of attending that event. So that'll be cool. If you're following us, watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you'll be notified each time we go live. And, like this video and share it with your friends. I mean, we've got a lot of fun coming down the pike. Before we go to the series animation, one more time, final word, Stark?
No final word. See you next week.